Hello and welcome. My name is Janet Flores. I am a second year Master of Social Work candidate with the College of Health Sciences. This year I got to intern with Philosophic Systems Institute, also known as PSI. PSI is a private nonprofit organization that provides transformational interdisciplinary learning in the El Paso community for a more empowered and just society. As you can see this image in the center, this is the interdisciplinary team that I got to work with throughout my time with PSI. We are a team of educators, artists, anthropologists, and philosophers. So I got to learn a little bit more of all of those professions, but I also was able to implement a social work perspective into our work together. My role as a social worker consisted of several things. My main projects were helping implement two different community programs that were our pilot programs. The first is the Youth Collective program that we implemented in August of 2021, and it's still going on right now. We work with youth, children, and their families in a housing complex that provides affordable housing for lower income families. And we are centered in a rec center in the middle of the community. So we provide artistic, creative spaces for children and families to be able to explore different ways of learning in fun and creative ways, but also approaching it through a social emotional learning lens. The other program is our Lightstream program, which began in February of 2022. We partnered with the Juvenile Probation Department in El Paso to provide a pilot program that would service these youth with community service hours, but also give them an opportunity for personal growth by providing different tools and skills, such as problem-solving skills, critical thinking skills, but also social-emotional learning through an artistic and creative, as well as supportive approach. My roles were to plan and develop the curriculum for the weekly youth sessions, both for the Lightstream and the Youth Collective program, and also the monthly community events that we did with the Youth Collective program. During this time, I coordinated and facilitated a total of 85 weekly youth sessions between both programs, and also 5 community events in the Youth Collective program. I also helped advocate for youth and families experiencing hardships. I found that every case that I worked with was very unique, so I definitely learned a lot from the participants themselves, and they really guided me throughout this time because I had to help them through their lens and through their perspective. So I really appreciated that. I also had to adapt our program to meet the emerging needs of the members and the community, which was a challenge because I often had to reflect on what it is that those needs were and also figure out ways to adapt them into our program. I also created partnerships with both the community members and other local organizations in the El Paso community to help meet some of the needs that our team was unable to fully meet. As you can see here in the top corner, my top 5 strengths are learner, relator, maximizer, connectedness, and individualization. I believe that this internship really showed me how to maximize the strengths of not just myself, but also of the participants and the community members. All of us have strengths within us, and it was a pleasure to be able to figure out what those strengths were and how we can maximize them in our program and in the community. I also learned how to improve the connectedness with individuals that I worked with. When we first started the Youth Collective program, I went door to door, knocking in every single household, introducing myself, introducing our program, getting to know the community members, building those connections and that rapport with them. Since I was an outsider coming into their community, this was a challenge for me as well, but I believe that the internship helped me and pushed me to build those connections. And so I believe that that was one of my greatest strengths that was outlined during this time. This picture below is one of the initiatives that I started, the Youth Collective Community Closet. I found that one of the needs was having items that were needed at home, such as clothing, diapers, female menstrual pads, formula, hygiene products, and other necessities. So I took the initiative to begin this Youth Collective Community Closet, and it has since expanded a lot more than when I started it. The UTEP Edge skills that I think I have expanded on are my confidence, my leadership, and my social responsibility. And I think this community closet is a clear example of how I've improved each and every one of these skills. Our team really pushes us to be confident in ourselves and in our abilities, and they always pushed me to take initiatives when I felt that they were needed. My leadership was also outlined during my time here. As the only social worker in both of these programs, I had to be able to provide my lens in everything that I did and take the leadership in certain areas, especially when it came to advocacy for the youth and families. Lastly, my social responsibility was definitely outlined during my time with SCI also. I got to meet a lot of people, and every single individual that I met came with an extension of other people that supported them. And this was either their family, their community members, church members, neighbors. So it really showed me that you have to look out for one another as a community. And in the work that I've done, I think that it was especially improved throughout my time with SCI. On the top corner here, you can see two images of our community event that we took last week, actually. And we were able to take a creative approach to how we evaluated our work in the program so far. The first image, we gave each family member tokens to choose the top 3 areas that they felt their children most needed support in. And as you can see, the top 2 were emotional and mental support, as well as social support, which I believe was a direct impact of COVID-19. And I think that we're seeing the consequences to the social isolation that our youth and children had to go through over the last 2 years. The other image is our tree of growth. So the family members got to write down some of the things that they've seen within their children that have improved or changed throughout their time in the program. So it was very amazing to see some of the things that they saw. Some of my internship takeaways include improved public speaking skills, as I often spoke and facilitated in all of our events. I also became a more competent program facilitator, which was very new to me, so I really loved that experience. I also learned how to develop a brand new community program, and I acquired knowledge in interdisciplinary fields thanks to my amazing team members. I also gained an understanding of the current issues and challenges that our youth and kids are facing today. And I experienced an overall new lens on education and what that could look like through our transformational learning spaces. The next steps for me is that I will be graduating this May of 2022 with my master's in social work. After that, I plan on taking my licensing exam to become a licensed master of social work. Lastly, I plan on continuing full-time with SCI, and I plan on serving the El Paso community throughout the rest of my career. I would like to acknowledge and thank my mentor, Dr. Juan Ferret, PhD, and the PSI team for believing in me and supporting me throughout this endeavor. And I would also like to extend my gratitude to the amazing members of our programs for welcoming me into their lives and into their communities. My work would not be possible without them. Thank you.